Every moment of your life is a crossroads. With every decision you make, you are steering the direction of your future, whether you realize it or not. Success and failure are not random. They are the result of choices big and small made over time. The most successful people in the world did not get there by chance. They made powerful, deliberate decisions that set them on a path toward their goals. On the flip side, those who struggle often find themselves stuck not because of a lack of opportunity, but because of hesitation, indecision, or the wrong choices made consistently. Single decision has the power to alter the course of your life. Think about a time when one choice, maybe one you didn't even think was significant, ended up shaping everything that came after it. Maybe it was taking a job, ending a relationship, moving to a new city, or even deciding to believe in yourself when no one else did. One moment of courage, one decision to step forward instead of staying still can set off a chain reaction that changes your destiny forever. Most people let life happen to them. They drift, reacting to circumstances instead of creating them. But the truth is, the most powerful people, the ones who achieve, grow, and inspire, are the ones who take control of their decisions. They don't leave things to fate. They decide what they want, commit to it fully, and refuse to let excuses, fear, or doubt stand in their way. Every single breakthrough in life starts with an internal decision to change, to rise, to move forward no matter what. The quality of your decisions determines the quality of your life. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, action over hesitation, growth over stagnation, you are shaping a future that aligns with your dreams. The small, seemingly insignificant choices, whether to wake up early or hit snooze, whether to take a risk or play it safe, whether to keep going or give up, accumulate over time. They either push you closer to greatness or further away from it. Fear is the biggest enemy of decision making. Many people avoid making choices because they are afraid of making the wrong one. But the worst decision you can make is no decision at all. Indecision breeds regret, frustration, and missed opportunities. The only way to grow is to make choices, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Even a wrong decision, if acted upon with conviction, teaches valuable lessons and leads to the next right move. Every major success story is built on bold decisions. The entrepreneurs who built billion-dollar companies, the athletes who shattered records, the artists who changed the world at some point, they stood at a fork in the road and chose to go all in. They didn't have guarantees. They didn't know every step of the journey. But they made the decision, and that decision created momentum. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to decide and take the first step. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice. You can continue as you are, or you can decide to step into something greater. The life you dream of is not going to happen by accident. It will happen because you made the choice to claim it. Your destiny is in your hands, and the power to shape it starts with the decision you make today. Most people live their lives waiting for the right time, waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for the fear to go away. But waiting is an illusion. The truth is, the only moment you ever have control over is now. The second you make a decision, your future starts shifting. The moment you commit, the universe begins to rearrange itself to match the energy of your choice. Nothing changes until you do. Every great transformation starts with an internal shift where you decide enough is enough. It's not about waiting until you feel ready, because you'll never feel fully ready. The most powerful changes happen when you act despite the uncertainty, despite the fear. The second you stop hesitating and start moving, you send a signal to your mind, to your body, and to the world that you are serious. And that energy creates momentum. Most people don't realize how quickly life can change. They think change takes years, but real change happens in a heartbeat. It's not the process of change that takes time, it's the decision to change. The person who quits smoking does it in a single moment. The person who finally leaves a toxic relationship does it in a single moment. The person who turns their financial life around does it in a single moment. That moment is when they decide truly and fully that they will never go back to their old way of living. Hesitation is the killer of dreams. Every time you put off a decision, you lose energy. You lose power. You train yourself to doubt instead of trust. The mind loves to create excuses. I'll start next week. I'll do it when I have more time. I just need to figure things out first. But deep down, you already know what you need to do. The problem isn't knowledge. The problem is action. The second you stop overthinking and start doing, you reclaim control. Time is an illusion. People say they need more time, but time is not the problem. Decision is. There are people who change their entire lives in a single year, while others stay stuck for decades. The difference is not in resources, not in intelligence, not in talent, it's in the willingness to act and obey. The person who takes immediate action moves further in a month than the person who spends years planning but never executing. Your mind will always try to pull you back into the comfort of the familiar. It will whisper doubts, create imaginary obstacles, and convince you that now is not the right time. But what if you ignored those thoughts? What if instead of letting them control you, you took action anyway? The second you move beyond hesitation, you tap into a power that most people never experience. You start operating on a different level, one where growth, success, and fulfillment are no longer distant dreams but present realities. Think of any breakthrough in history. It didn't happen gradually, it happened when someone made a choice to step forward despite uncertainty. The leaders who changed nations, the innovators who revolutionized industries, the athletes who shattered records, every single one of them had a defining moment where they said, I will not wait. I will act now. That decision separated them from the masses who stayed trapped in hesitation. Right now, you are standing at a crossroads. You can keep waiting, keep delaying, keep hoping for the perfect moment, or you can make the decision that changes everything. The power is already in your hands. The only question is, will you use it? Too many people live as prisoners of their past, believing that their mistakes, failures, and setbacks have permanently shaped their future. They carry their past like a heavy chain, allowing it to dictate their decisions, their confidence, and their sense of what's possible. But the truth is, the past is not a life sentence, it's a lesson. It exists to teach, to guide, and to strengthen, not to define who you are or what you can become. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has a past filled with failures, struggles, and moments of doubt. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is simple. Successful people refuse to let their past control them. They use their experiences as fuel, as wisdom, as stepping stones towards something greater. They understand that what happened yesterday has no power over today unless they give it permission. Regret is one of the most dangerous emotions because it keeps people living in a reality that no longer exists. Instead of focusing on what they can change, they replay old mistakes, dwell on lost opportunities, and punish themselves for things they can't go back and fix. But no amount of guilt can rewrite the past. The only thing it can do is steal energy from the present and sabotage the future. The moment you stop looking backward and start focusing on what's in front of you, everything changes. Your past does not define you because you are not the same person you were back then. Every single day, you have the chance to evolve, to grow, to rewrite your story. Who you were 5 years ago, 1 year ago, or even yesterday does not determine who you are today. Your identity is shaped by the choices you make in this moment, not by the choices you made when you didn't know what you know now. People underestimate the power of small choices because they don't see immediate results. If you eat fast food today, nothing terrible happens. If you skip the gym, you don't instantly become out of shape because the consequences aren't immediate. People assume their choices don't matter. But just like a single drop of water can eventually carve out a canyon, your repeated decisions, no matter how small, shape your future in ways you can't always see right away. The same principle applies to mindset. The small choice to focus on solutions instead of problems, to see opportunities instead of obstacles, to believe in yourself instead of giving in to self-doubt, these mental habits shape the way you approach life. A person who consistently chooses a growth mindset will, over time, outperform someone who always looks for reasons why they can't succeed. The brain is wired to strengthen whatever patterns you feed it. And the small daily choice to think positively and take action leads to massive change. Every relationship, career, and dream is built or broken by small choices. Choosing to listen instead of interrupting, to support instead of criticize, to be kind instead of dismissive, these choices determine the strength of your connections. Choosing to show up and do the work even when you don't feel like it determines your success in any field. The people who seem to have incredible relationships, financial freedom, or peak health didn't get there by accident. They got there by making small, consistent decisions that led them toward what they wanted. Most people think success requires a complete life overhaul, but the truth is, it starts with tiny adjustments. If you improve just 1% every day by the end of the year, you wouldn't be 365% better, you'd be 37 times better because of the power of compounding. The smallest positive shift in your daily routine, repeated consistently, creates unstoppable momentum. The person you become is simply the result of the small choices you make moment by moment, day by day. Right now, you are making choices that are shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. Every small decision matters. Nothing is insignificant. Every step forward, no matter how small, is still progress. The question is, are your small choices leading you toward the life you want, or are they slowly pulling you further away? Human beings are driven by two primary forces, pain and pleasure. Everything we do, every decision we make is based on these two powerful motivators. When we make choices, we either choose something because it brings us pleasure, or we avoid something because we fear the pain it might cause. This understanding is fundamental to mastering your life, because the more control you have over how you respond to pain and pleasure, the more control you have over your outcomes. At a basic level, the human brain is wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. This survival instinct has been embedded in us for centuries. Our ancestors were motivated by the need to find food, shelter, and safety, and they avoided danger and discomfort to stay alive. While modern life no longer has the same immediate threats, this primal instinct still governs much of our behavior today. We make decisions based on how we believe they will impact our sense of pleasure or discomfort, even if those decisions aren't always aligned with our long-term happiness. The problem arises when we misinterpret pain and pleasure. Often, the short-term pleasure we seek, such as indulging in unhealthy food, procrastinating, or avoiding hard work, comes with a long-term cost. The immediate gratification feels good, but it often leads to greater pain later, such as weight gain, stress, or regret. Conversely, the pain we avoid by staying comfortable or avoiding difficult tasks can often lead to even greater long-term discomfort, like failure, missed opportunities, or stagnation. The trick is learning to associate greater pleasure with the actions that lead to long-term success and fulfillment, and to reframe the discomfort of growth as something to embrace, not avoid. When you truly understand the link between pain and pleasure, you can start to reprogram your mind to work for you instead of against you. For example, think about the discomfort of exercising. It's painful in the moment, but the long-term pleasure of increased energy, better health, and greater self-confidence is what ultimately drives people to stick with it. On the flip side, many people will choose to stay in bed instead of working out because they're focused on the short-term comfort of rest without considering the long-term pain of poor health and low energy. The key is in the relationship you build with pain and pleasure. Those who achieve extraordinary success have learned to associate more pleasure with the hard work, sacrifice, and discomfort that lead to their goals, and more pain with the habits that hold them back. It's not that successful people don't experience discomfort, they do, but they have conditioned themselves to see that discomfort is a stepping stone to greater joy. They know that to achieve something extraordinary, they must endure temporary discomfort, and they've learned to embrace it. The first step in mastering pain and pleasure is to recognize where you're making choices based on immediate gratification. Look at your habits, your behaviors, your routines, and ask yourself, am I avoiding pain now in exchange for greater pain later? If you are, then you're choosing short-term pleasure at the expense of your long-term happiness. The awareness alone is often enough to begin shifting your patterns, because once you realize what's happening, you can start making different choices. The next step is to condition your mind to connect immediate discomfort with long-term rewards. When you face a challenging task, instead of seeing the pain, start focusing on the pleasure that will come once it's done. Recognize that pushing through the discomfort now will lead to the joy, satisfaction, and pride of accomplishment later. When you shift your mindset in this way, the pain becomes more bearable and the reward becomes more desirable. The key is to train your brain to understand that the hard work you put in today will directly create the future you desire. Mastering pain and pleasure also means learning how to override your default responses. The mind will always try to avoid pain and seek pleasure, but you have the power to choose how you respond. When you feel the urge to procrastinate, or when you're tempted to give up because something is hard, remind yourself of the pleasure that will come once you've completed the task. When you start associating pain with inaction and pleasure with persistence, your choices will begin to reflect that shift in thinking. Another aspect of mastering pain and pleasure is learning how to use pain as a motivator. Pain is not always something to be avoided. It can be a powerful tool for growth. When you experience pain, whether it's the pain of failure, rejection, or struggle, you can use that discomfort to drive you forward. Instead of seeing pain as something negative, see it as a signal that you are moving in the right direction. Pain is often the catalyst for transformation, and if you learn to embrace it, you can turn it into your greatest motivator. On the flip side, pleasure can also be a powerful motivator when used wisely. It's important to celebrate your small wins along the way and use those moments of pleasure to reinforce your positive behaviors. When you achieve something, whether it's completing a workout, finishing a project, or making progress toward a goal, take time to acknowledge your success and feel the pleasure of accomplishment. This will train your brain to associate effort with reward, creating a positive feedback loop that drives you toward more success. Once you begin to master the balance between pain and pleasure, you'll notice that your life changes in powerful ways. You'll stop being controlled by the desire for immediate gratification and start making choices based on what you truly want long term. You'll embrace the discomfort of growth, knowing that it leads to deeper fulfillment, and you'll learn how to avoid the traps of short-term pleasure that only lead to long-term dissatisfaction. This mastery over pain and pleasure is one of the keys to achieving lasting success, happiness, and fulfillment. The most powerful part of this process is recognizing that you have the ability to reprogram your relationship with pain and pleasure at any time. It's never too late to change the way you think, the way you act, and the way you make decisions. When you start seeing the pain of discipline as a path to greater pleasure and the pleasure of indulgence as a path to future pain, you step into your true power. By mastering this, you begin to master your life. Commitment is the true measure of a decision. It's not just about making a choice. It's about making that choice with complete dedication and no backup plans. Most people approach decisions with the mindset of having options open, a safety net just in case things don't work out. But when you commit fully, you cut off all other possibilities and embrace the path you've chosen with everything you have. Without total commitment, you're leaving room for doubt, excuses, and the possibility of backing out when things get tough. A true commitment means no second guessing, no plan B, no exit strategies. It's putting everything you've got into the decision and trusting that your determination will see you through. When you have an option to quit, you can always find a reason to back off, to give up, to delay. But when you have no other choice but to succeed, you become unstoppable. Commitment is the fuel that drives you through obstacles, adversity, and setbacks. The most successful people in the world are not necessarily the most talented or the most gifted, but they are the ones who made the decision and never wavered from it. They didn't look for shortcuts or try to keep their options open. They burned the ships. They made their decision and they committed with everything they had. It's this unwavering focus and dedication that allowed them to overcome challenges and create the success they desired. The moment you decide to cut off all other options, you remove the possibility of failure. You stop looking for excuses or easy outs. You stop wondering if there's an easier way and start focusing on the task at hand. This kind of commitment creates massive momentum because you no longer spend time questioning your decision, you simply act. When you're fully committed, you begin to move with purpose and clarity, and nothing can stop you. One of the most powerful aspects of commitment is that it builds confidence. Every time you follow through on a decision, you prove to yourself that you have the strength and determination to succeed. Your confidence grows with every step you take. And as you start to see results, your belief in yourself becomes unshakable. When you commit, you're showing yourself that you can be trusted to take action and follow through, and that trust becomes the foundation of future success. Commitment also inspires others. When you show unwavering dedication to a cause, a goal, or a vision, it inspires those around you to do the same. People are drawn to commitment because it demonstrates strength, leadership, and purpose. Whether it's your team, your family, or peers, your commitment encourages others to commit as well. You create a ripple effect of determination and focus, and that collective energy drives you all towards success. The moment you commit, you stop seeing challenges as obstacles and start seeing them as necessary parts of the journey. Commitment gives you the strength to push through hard times because you no longer focus on the difficulty of the task, but on the reward that lies on the other side. You become immune to setbacks because you know they are just temporary and part of the process. Commitment allows you to endure hardship with grace and persistence, knowing that your decision is what matters most. When you make a true commitment, you begin to build your identity around it. You stop identifying as someone who is unsure, who is still figuring things out. Instead, you start seeing yourself as a person who takes action, who follows through, and who gets things done. Commitment becomes part of who you are, and that identity drives every action you take. The more you commit, the more you strengthen your belief in your ability to achieve whatever you set your mind to. Commitment is the foundation of all success. Without it, there is no progress, no momentum, no growth. When you make a true decision to commit to something, you unlock a power within you that moves mountains. It's the key to overcoming obstacles, achieving your dreams, and living the life you truly desire. Commit fully with no backdoor, no hesitation, and no retreat, and watch as your life transforms into something you once thought impossible. A decision without action is nothing more than a wish, a dream that lives in the realm of possibility but never materializes. You can decide to achieve anything, but if you don't act on that decision, it will remain just an idea. The true power of decision lies in the ability to move quickly and decisively toward your goal. When you act immediately, you create momentum, and momentum is the force that propels you toward success. Without action, no amount of planning, dreaming, or wishing will bring your goals to life. The moment you decide to make a change, whether it's in your career, health, relationships, or personal growth, you must take immediate action. Even if the first step is small, taking action breaks the inertia that holds you back. It transforms your decision from a mere thought into something tangible. Every step you take, no matter how small, sends a message to your mind and the world that you are committed and ready to make things happen. When you hesitate or delay, you allow doubt and fear to creep in. And that's when momentum starts to fade. Fear thrives in the absence of action. The longer you wait, the more your mind will come up with reasons not to act. The critical moment is when you make the decision and move fast, because in that speed, you eliminate the chance for doubt to take root. Action is the antidote to fear, and the quicker you act, the stronger your momentum becomes. Momentum is the secret sauce of achievement. It's the engine that keeps you moving forward, even when things get tough. The more you act, the more momentum you create. And the more momentum you create, the easier it becomes to continue taking action. Momentum builds on itself, and what once felt difficult now feels natural. Every step forward gives you more energy, confidence, and clarity. You start to see that things aren't as hard as they seem when you were just thinking about them. The most successful people don't waste time. They decide and they move quickly. They know that hesitation is the enemy of progress. They don't wait for the perfect moment or for all the details to align. They understand that the first step is often the hardest, and once they take it, the next one becomes easier. The key is to move fast, not to be reckless, but to trust that taking action will guide you toward the answers you need. Inaction is what keeps most people stuck. Action is what propels you forward. There's a reason why taking action feels so good. It gives you a sense of accomplishment and control. Every action you take, no matter how small, signals to your brain that you are in charge of your life. It's empowering to know that your decisions have consequences. And those consequences can lead you to exactly where you want to go. The more you act, the more you reinforce the idea that you are the creator of your own destiny. And that momentum builds the belief that you can achieve anything. One of the biggest obstacles to momentum is the feeling of being overwhelmed. It's easy to look at a large goal and feel paralyzed, thinking you need to have everything figured out before you can move forward. But the truth is, you don't need to know every step. You just need to take the first step. Once you start moving, the path will reveal itself. You'll gather more information, meet the right people, and discover opportunities you never would have seen if you stayed in the planning phase. The first step may be all you need to ignite the momentum that carries you forward. When you act quickly, you create a sense of urgency within yourself. It's this urgency that prevents procrastination and builds a sense of excitement and purpose. When there's a sense of urgency, you focus on what needs to be done, and you do it with intensity. This urgency doesn't have to come from external pressure. It can be created from within by deciding to make things happen and taking immediate action to ensure that you do. There will be times when taking action doesn't lead to immediate results. You might not see a change right away, but the key is to stay consistent. Even when results seem slow, momentum is building beneath the surface. Small actions compound over time, and the effort you put in now will pay off later. Think of it like pushing a boulder up a hill. At first, it's heavy and hard, but once you get it moving, it becomes easier and easier to keep it going. In the beginning, the struggle is real, but once you have momentum, things start to flow. One of the most powerful effects of action is that it provides clarity. When you're sitting on the sidelines contemplating your decision, you don't have all the answers. But once you start taking action, you begin to see things more clearly. You start to understand what works and what doesn't. You gain insight into the steps you need to take in the direction you should go. Clarity doesn't come from thinking and planning, it comes from doing. The more you do, the clearer the path becomes. Taking action also builds resilience. You may encounter setbacks along the way, and that's okay. The key is to keep moving even when things don't go as planned. Action gives you the opportunity to learn from failure, to adjust your approach, and to keep pushing forward. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. And when you take action, you learn to bounce back from obstacles stronger and more determined. Momentum is what carries you through the hard times, and the more action you take, the more resilient you become. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. Without it, your goals will remain intangible. But once you make the decision to move, you start building the life you envision. You don't need all the answers or a perfect plan. You need courage, commitment, and the willingness to take that first step. The faster you move, the faster you build momentum, the faster you will reach the life you desire. Once you get moving, there's no turning back. You hold the power to create the life you want. No one else can dictate your success or failure, and no external circumstances can fully determine your future. The truth is that you are the ultimate decision maker. You control the choices you make, the actions you take, and the mindset you cultivate. Success is not something that just happens to you. It's something that you actively create by taking responsibility for your own journey. Every moment presents a new opportunity for you to decide the direction you will go, and your choices are the driving force behind everything that happens in your life. There are countless factors that may influence your life, but they only have power if you allow them to. Life can be challenging, and it can sometimes feel like forces outside of your control are holding you back, but the reality is that you decide how much control you give them. The power lies in how you respond to obstacles, how you react to circumstances, and how you use every experience, whether good or bad, as fuel for your personal growth. You are not a victim of your environment. You are the creator of your story. So often, people look outside themselves for something to blame for where they are in life. They blame their upbringing, their circumstances, or the people around them. But the truth is that as long as you place the blame on others, you're giving up your power. You're surrendering the control that you hold over your life. No matter what has happened in the past, it's up to you to choose how you move forward. Every setback can be a lesson, and every failure can be reframed as a stepping stone towards success. The past does not define you. Your decisions today define who you will become tomorrow. The power of your choices is immeasurable. Every decision you make, big or small, creates a ripple effect that impacts your future. When you make choices that align with your values and your vision, you set yourself on a path of growth and achievement. But when you make decisions based on fear, doubt, or the opinions of others, you limit yourself. Your choices are your responsibility, and they are the single most important factor in shaping your reality. You may not be able to control every aspect of your life, but you can always control how you respond and what you choose to do. The beauty of holding the power is that it gives you the freedom to create the life you want, regardless of where you started. It doesn't matter what others have done or what opportunities you might not have had. It's up to you to take full ownership of your journey. When you decide to embrace this responsibility, you take back the power to shape your destiny. You are no longer dependent on external factors or waiting for someone to give you permission to succeed. You are the one who chooses your path. And that is the most empowering realization you can have. What's even more powerful is that you can change the course of your life at any moment. It doesn't matter how long you've been stuck, how many mistakes you've made, or how much time has passed. The moment you decide to take control and make different choices, you can start shifting your life in a new direction. The power to change lies in your hands, and it's never too late to start. Every single day is an opportunity to make choices that move you closer to your ideal life. With this power comes the responsibility to stay true to your purpose. It's easy to get distracted by the opinions of others, to be swayed by fear of failure. But when you take responsibility for your success, you realize that you must remain committed to your vision, regardless of what anyone else thinks. Your choices should be guided by what truly matters to you, not by outside expectations or pressures. Stay focused on your goals and trust yourself to make the decisions that will get you there. As you move through life, you will face challenges that test your resolve. There will be moments when you feel overwhelmed, uncertain, or tempted to give up. But in those moments, remember that the power to overcome is within you. You are not powerless in the face of adversity. You are capable of handling whatever comes your way because you hold the power to choose how you respond. Challenges are part of the process, and they only have the power to defeat you if you let them. The strength to push through lies within you, and your ability to choose your response will determine your outcome. The journey to success is not a straight line. It's filled with twists, turns, and detours. But with every decision you make, you are moving forward. The more decisively you act, the clearer the path becomes. Don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances, or the perfect opportunity. Make the best decision you can with what you have, and trust that the process will unfold as you take action. Every step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum and moves you closer to your goals. Remember that your power is not just in the decisions you make, but in the way you carry yourself through life. Confidence, determination, and resilience are all choices you can make every day. These qualities are not innate, they are cultivated by the choices you make and the actions you take. When you choose to believe in yourself, when you choose to persevere in the face of difficulties, you are empowering yourself to create the success you desire. Your mindset shapes your reality, and the power to create that mindset is yours. The truth is that you already have everything you need within you to create the life you want. The only thing standing between you and your success is your willingness to take responsibility for your choices. When you stop waiting for things to change on their own and start taking deliberate action, you unlock the door to unlimited potential. The key to unlocking your greatest life lies in your ability to make decisions that align with your purpose and your vision, and to take action without hesitation. You have the power, and with that power comes the responsibility to make decisions that move you forward. It's not about waiting for the right moment or the right circumstances. It's about deciding, committing, and acting fast. Take ownership of your choices and never forget that you are in control of your own destiny. No one else can decide for you. The life you create starts with the decisions you make today. So take full responsibility for your choices, and you will find that the power you've been seeking has always been in your hands.